Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jeanette here, and it's a VR to Ess Sea Tea Tarot, and this is 15 decks for fall hashtag, and this is going into my hashtag spooky season tags playlist. So do go check that playlist out. I'll link it below, and I'll also put a link to Ess Sea Tea Tarot. I'm going to get that wrong at some point. For these 15 decks. So there are no prompts. It's just really about fall being here, favourite season for Ess Sea Tea Tarot, and just kind of pulling decks that are moody and giving that autumn vibe that they're feeling and leaning into. So I think you've got to start with that one really as deck number one. And I think exactly that, it's autumn vibes. We went from summer straight into what felt like winter for a while, and I never felt the vibe of this deck, so I haven't worked with it, haven't pulled it. But lately, middle of October, suddenly it's warmed up again and it feels a bit more autumnal. Very back to front. And now I'm feeling the vibes of this deck. But I'm already halfway into October and I'm, deep into my spooky season tags and decks and Halloween things I want to use. So I kind of skipped, really. This would have come out towards the end of October all the way through September, and it just didn't. It's very weird. Can't explain it. I went straight from sun into darkness, both in mood as well and my sense of being. But this is the one that I would pull. So this is deck number one for the autumn feels. Deck number two, the Vintage Wisdom Oracle, has those moody brown vibes again to it. So this one is also, it's there. It's a great deck actually. It's a very what's the word for multifunctional? Do you know what I mean? Universal. It's a universal deck. It can be used with multiple other decks. So I do like this deck. So I thought this would be a good one. It's got those brown colours to it as well, with that autumnal vibe. It's got that kind of when the sun is lower in the sky, it does feel like it has a kind of hazy veil. It gives everything a slightly different tint here. So we use like this north aspect light, and then it becomes a little bit more like it's through a lens, I suppose, in its colours. Cooler. No, it's not, is it? Sometimes it's warmer actually. It feels warmer in its views, depending on where you are. But yeah, deck number two. Deck number three is by James Bradshaw from Etsy. I don't know if he's had any more reprints on this one yet, but this was first edition, so it was limited, and there was a misprint. So I have the misprinted card and I have the correct card as well. But this one, it's really more about the fact that it was drawn. It's black and white, and that kind of shaded, lots of shaded background. So that for me gives the energy, the feels of this time of year. Again, it's a great one for all year round, but it has the feels, it has the vibes, and it's on nice cardstock. It makes a nice noise when you shuffle it. And he's British based as well, so this one was really easy and actually really cheap to get hold of, considering when we go to Etsy, I think for me costs like between £80 to £120 to order one deck, and this one was under 40. And he hand drew all of these cards. Can you imagine how long that would have taken? I just love that card. Vampire Moon. Yeah, so there's my smudgy deck. Next up we have Tarot Nuages. Again, we have the sepia brown tones. I think that's really why I'm calling it autumnal for this point. It's the sepia, it's that aged look. It's, again, it has that same lens that was similar in the last two decks, with the smudging, the shading, the way it's been done. It brings that like creeping of moodiness into it for the longer, darker days. We're trying to hold on to that last little bit of sunshine before it turns icy cold. So that's what these feel like to me. You can pop into the little goblin world. So it's another good autumn deck. Pairs really beautifully with Deviant Moon, but I'm not the only one that says that. Many readers have said that have these two. They're like cousins of each other. With all the gnarly aspects. Alright, what should we look at next? Absolutely 100% autumn vibes, this one. Edged by myself, hence the reason why it's all patchy. Nice, moody, rich, sumptuous colour tones. Lots of browns and sepias. There are oranges. It's just darker and moodier, reflecting the light landscape to me. And I suppose what you want to call the moodiness and sumptuousness of the deck of the cards, like these ones, also bring that vibe. That still got that brown, the copper, the richness of the like kind of, you know, when copper changes colour and it starts to patina, and it has like greens and lots of other really beautiful colourings to it. And people are wearing what feels like much heavier clothing, as she says, as she's wearing a bit of chiffon. But their clothing does feel like they have a little bit more on them. The layers are a bit thicker, a bit warmer. You know, we've got shirts and jackets. We have wraps and drapes. There's probably corsets and goodness knows what else underneath all of these dresses to keep everyone warm. So that's why I picked this one. Deck 5, the Hush Tarot. Same thing as before. I'm going to just keep repeating myself, I think. This has the decay. It has that rebirth element to it. It has the dying elements of it as well. So, you know, think of the leaves falling to the ground and starting to mulch and grow into the ground, and then nutritionalize the ground for the following year, for the growth of the next lot of plants that are coming up. And obviously for the animals that need to go to hibernation. So that's why I figured this one. Also, it has the same sepia tones. It has those kind of aged browns, old browns. That there's like a lens over the colouring to just age it that little bit further. Really interesting artwork. And a great shadow work deck. So as it is the time for shadow work, this is a great one for that. And it's probably one of the only decks I use specifically for doing so. I don't really use it for reading generally. I have done, but I found that this one as a shadow work deck, that's what it reads for me. And it's the guidebook that does it. Jeremy's take in the guidebook, just, yep, spot on. Don't need a lot of writing, but his write-ups are very good for challenging what you think you're thinking versus what's really going on. So it's number 5. Okay, the medieval Scapini, deck number 6. Mine's been cut. I haven't trimmed the corners yet, so it's still square. More the backs really, and the fact that it's on cream cardstock that makes me feel this time of year. It's mass market. This one's US Games. Yes, it is. This is 2005, I think it's come out. So I like this one. I didn't realise at the time when I first got this, but it's based on, so the artist has based it on the Golden Visconti, the Visconti Sporter decks. So this deck doesn't actually exist. I thought it did those backings and everything, so I thought it'd be really nice to see these done in the same way as the Visconti Sporter, or the Golden Visconti, in silver. And it won't be, because it's been drawn to look like it's been taken off of. However, I still think it would be really cool to see the backs come to life, where we've got the metallics showing in the back. Like these ones. And if you have the Sforza, I have done a walk through them side by side, I think, that you can go look at. But if you have the Sforza, you would understand what I mean with bringing that backing to life. But with the colourful images at the front, it means that you can see what's going on. And the pips are really interesting in this deck. What did I say that was? Number 6? Number 7, Terra Volatile, Terra Volatile. Brown backs. Number 1 reason, sepia box. Number 2 reason. Number 3 reason, kind of sepia, aged creamed edges. Dark cards. Moody. Perfect. Stroppy deck. Stroppy deck alert. But just look at the depth of the images. As grumpy and moody as they are, you can see straight in, can't you? And I just realised there's a deck I haven't even put in this section, and I really ought to go get it back out. Yes. A beautiful deck. There we go. Was that number 7? Let's see what number 8 is. So it is the Baroque Tarot by Nuages Designs. The 2022 deck has this lovely dark gold backing. It has this wonderful foiled gold and brown backs. Again, back at that autumn feels. And it's kind of a muddy imagery, muddy deck, image wise. It's not clean is what I mean when I say muddy. And slightly, people's faces are slightly out of shot as well, so you can't always see what they're thinking, what's going on the faces. There's just something about this deck that also feels this time of year. Lots of the kind of greys, charcoals, blacks, browns, dark, like muddy blues. Look at the death card. There's a super example of a dark magician. 8 of Cups. So yeah, the faces are sort of stylized and taken slightly out of images slightly. Can't remember what it was. Somebody pointed this out and I had never noticed it. They really didn't. I actually appreciated this deck a lot more before somebody pointed out the issues with some of the faces in the deck. And now I'm like, oh, I can't unsee that now. But I'm trying to get over that and re-see what I saw in the card. I mean, such a dark sun. What I saw in the card, the decks originally. And I think that was part of the charm originally, was I hadn't faces to focus on, so it wasn't a face giving me an image, giving me a very definite frown or, you know, trying to relate an emotion to me from the deck. Like, that's really good. I don't need to see their emotion always. It's there in the body language and the other gestures. Just you see deeper, you see differently into the deck. So maybe that's the difference between how we all communicate with people, the verbal, the non-verbal, the body language, the facial aspects. So there we go. There's that one. Deck number 10. Sorry, this is the one I forgot. I had to go find. Look at the backs. Tower of Prague. Feels like a sunset deck. So this would be early autumn for me, not the depths of autumn. But with a sunset vibe, this is why I say that, because it would be definitely an early autumn deck. It's such a beautiful set of drawings. And I've talked about this one. I really enjoyed my trip to Prague when I went. I would love to go back again and probably take this deck with me actually and wander around and see some of the sights and things in the deck. Yes, it's been collaged from different areas of Prague, but at least I can see the elements in the cards from, you know, around the city, because the book that comes with this does tell you where they all are. I mean, I've definitely been here. I went there daily. So yeah, I thought I've been to the palace. I thought, oh, how remiss of me to have forgotten this deck. It's not as moody as the others. That's why I say this would be my sunset deck. So the very start of coming into autumn. This is maybe the deck that I should have pulled, just because it's gone to the back of the shelf. Look at that, just a cold foiling on these. monsters and everything just comes to life. Hopefully it's kind of picking up on camera. And there's my deck number 10. I've got 5 to go. Ooh, what will make it? Okay, this one's on Etsy, the Shadow Journey Tarot by J. Edward and Heather Neal. God, this artwork from these are just off the charts. They're crazy arts, so cool. It has a darker tone, darker vibe to it. I'll admit that. That's why I would put this one out. Again, it's an all year rounder for me. I got them upside down. Looks like I put some upside down. There we go. Tower. But yeah, that like marbly background, the shadow-esque. I've got a habit of shuffling them in. I just pull them out when they show up, because I get really lazy. I cannot be bothered to take out the front and back cards every time I want to use a deck. Anyone else with me? But yeah, it's got some great vibes, some great tones to it, and that decaying world. So hence the autumnal vibes. Doesn't feel like sunrise. To me, it's definitely a sunset deck. The sun sets for the winter, to rise again in February, March, who knows when. Depends when the groundhog awakens, right? Or what's the one in this country? The witch, the old crone, when she comes out to gather. Yeah, so there's deck number 11. Sorry, number 12. Crooked Way Tarot from Duck Soup. Backs is a big giveaway. Moody Fronts is a second giveaway. And it's kind of got that zombie vibe to it. Death and destruction. So that's that one. Ghosties. It's a definite October deck anyway. Definite October deck. Great humour. I enjoy these decks. This one's on linen cardstock, so it's got a great shuffle. The linen makes them aerated, so they move better when it comes to make playing cards stock. I think that's another great deck. The Crooked Way Tarot. If you do order from Duck Soup, you have to be aware that anything that comes through and as I believe it comes via Make Playing Cards anyway, they take a while to come in. So if you ordered this now expecting it next week, it's not going to arrive. These take, between 3 to 6 weeks to come in. So you have to bear that in mind. The next one is Tarot by Duck Soup. Trickle Tarot from Duck Soup. This one I've shown quite a few times, but this one is here because to me the autumn season, as it moves through the autumn season, we progress into sowing season and trick or treat. So as we come in, the darker the decks kind of are getting, I think is how I've done this. So coming like through from low sun sunset into dark nights and winter and things that could bump in the night. That's brilliant. I say it every time I think I see this deck, just witches flying. Excellent. But what a fun collage deck. So I do enjoy Doug's humour when he creates decks. He's got a few really good ones on his website. And it is www.tarotbyducksoup.com if you're looking for the website. We are fast approaching the last 2 decks. Had to get something in that was Gothic related. So Gothic are revealed. Again, we're going into the darker and darkers as we go. I'm definitely considering cutting these down. I'm really thinking about just catching that bit. But then that means I lose this fabulous red gilding, and it turns out I rather like the candy red gildings. Yeah, what's the girl going to do? So this one's pretty explanatory, I think. I don't think I need to go into much detail as to why this one made it. You've got your words and your keywords on here as well. So it's up to you which word you want to work from, Book of Shadows or Influence. But you can see how they work together as well. Gated Arch for Retreat. But very much to me a dark time of the year. I don't know that I would use this in summertime. And that's something for me to say. How about that? It's definitely a 6 month of the year deck. It's a September through to February, March type of deck for me. Depending on when you think autumn starts, really, isn't it? When did the vibes start for you this year? I felt the vibes back in August this year. It was quite crazy. I went into like dark mode probably end of July. I just swapped immediately into this weird like vibe of darkness, vampire, gothic decks, and I haven't really come out of it yet. So I wonder if I'm going to come out of it faster than I normally would. But I do have an exceptional number of decks like this. I'm in no rush. I can enjoy these decks for what they are. Right. So the final one's going to be a Halloween deck, a proper Halloween deck. Well, I'm calling it a proper Halloween deck, but something that brings us straight slap bang into where we're about to enter. And that's going to be the Macabre Tarot. I've turned mine off because the batteries are gone, so I do need to get new batteries to get it to start up again. If I didn't have this one, I'd be very tempted to get the miniature pocket one. It's great cardstock, fabulous cardstock, in fact. 10 out of 10 cardstock for a mass market deck. Gold edges. And the cards are just different, very different. Slightly macabre, slightly pippish, but fun, a bit gruesome, a little bit ghouly. And the suits are renamed. I don't know if I've written them down. Yeah, there we go. So I've written them there. So Terror is Page, Nightmare is Knight, Haunting is Queen, and Massacre is King. And we have Bones, Daggers, Crystals and Cups. I think that's always genuinely genius to have somewhere really easy to find and not have to read through the book to find it. I think more creators need to do that. Please pay attention. Because how many decks do I have to do that for? Sometimes I stick a post-it on the inside of the boxes when they open like this so I can see. Vampire, Tarot Vampires, Vampires, Tarot, those two. Ian Daniels deck, I have to do it for that one. Chariot. That is my 15th deck. I'm sure that's 15. What would make your top 15 picks? Let me know in comments, and if you do a VR, as always, please give me a tag, let me know what's going on, hashtag #SpookySeasonTags, then I can find you and see how far these go. Also, remember to pop along to Ess Sea Tea Tarot. ESTT. I wonder what that stands for. Take care. Bye-bye.